is my first ever client webinar. I'm a bit familiar in the Zoom format from my yoga teaching as well as my yoga training, but this is a completely new thing for me in terms of an accounting context. So I am nervous, but I'm so happy to be here to be sharing with you guys, and I hope we have a lot of fun today. My intention is that we come together to connect as entrepreneurs. First and foremost, that's what I want to do. Is I want to be putting out my hand, and I want us to connect as business owners in this time that is of course challenging for all of us. We're all going through changes and challenges and opportunities, which is what I'll talk about later. Right, so we'll start. What I was going to do is we're going to go through some of what CRA is offering for businesses. So we'll go through that together, and we'll go through each of the items that might be helpful to you. And then I've prepared another section, which is what I titled the webinar, which is business opportunities in challenging times. Because I see that despite, of course, there are so many challenges and a lot of uncertainty and fear, among other uncomfortable emotions that we're all experiencing right now. There certainly is that opportunity to be seen and to be helpful. And we'll get more into that a bit later, and then we'll end with a question and answer. So that's the format of the webinar. And I just wanted to say, so we're not going to be going too in depth into anything particular, although in the question and answer section we can get more in depth. But my idea here is that we're giving a brief overview. So rather than just, man, there's all these CRAs saying all these things, and I don't know what to do, we're going to say CRAs saying all these things, and I know how to help myself. I know how to check what might apply to me and what might not apply to me. So just on that type of a level. Yeah, and then also just helping out with this mindset that I know it's challenging and there's changes, but what we can help ourselves most this way is that we're bringing the right mindset that yes, it's hard, but I'm an entrepreneur and I was built to persevere. And so we're going to be digging on that now and through these challenging times. But as entrepreneurs, I feel that, in the back of our mind, we're always ready. This is what we're always worried about, right? And so now's the time. Okay, what are we going to do and how are we going to do it? So we'll talk more about that. Awesome. Great, so let's dive into it. I'm going to do a screen share, and my idea is that we'll go to the web pages together, because part of what I'm wanting to do is to empower you guys a bit to be able to do your own tax research. Because as much as I love to help you, I also want you to be able to say, hey, I know how to look this up and to determine if this applies to me or not. So my idea is that we'll do it together. So let's get started, and I'm going to try this screen share thing. So it'll be going to Google. Oh yes, here it is. So on Google, and then you can put Google CRA support for businesses. And the top one comes up. You can see it's www.canada.ca, and then it ends in COVID-19 businesses. So that's the one, support to businesses. And then you see at the top, it has the right title, Canada's COVID-19 Economic Response Plan. And then there's support for individuals, support for businesses, and support for industries. So this is a small business webinar, so we're looking at support for businesses. So, and then you see they have it quite nicely laid out here in terms of different sections. And the idea is that we don't get overwhelmed. So I think they do a pretty good job of laying it out here. So we'll go through it one by one and see what might apply and what might not apply. So the first one, avoiding layoffs and rehiring. First one, Canada Emergency Wage Subsidy. Let's see. The first thing I see here is that it says the proposed Canada Emergency Wage Subsidy. So this is, they don't have the details yet, and there really aren't any details here to be able to say much more. So more details coming. But then you see at the bottom here, it says organizations that do not qualify for the Canada Emergency Wage Subsidy may qualify for the previously announced wage subsidy of 10% of remuneration. And so if that would apply to you, you could click on that. I'm clicking on it now. And then you see this frequently asked questions, 10% wage subsidy for employers. First one, what is the wage subsidy? Most people are interested who's eligible, right? So you can click on that. You are an eligible employer if you are an individual, a partnership, nonprofit org, a registered charity, or a CCPC. That's most small businesses who are incorporated, they're CCPCs. So you have to have an existing business number with a payroll account as of March 18th, and you have to pay salary, wages, bonuses, and other to an eligible employee. So this, the way this works, I don't want to get too in depth right now, but how it basically works is whoever does your payroll, they'll manually calculate this subsidy. How do I calculate the subsidy? So you'll manually calculate it when you do your payroll remittances, and you'll subtract it right off of your payroll remittances. So this would be whoever does your payroll. I personally don't do any payroll for my clients, but I do advise as needed. So this will be for whoever does your payroll. And if you need any additional help, please definitely contact me. But in here is all the details, and that's the general format for how that one works. So let's go back, hopefully. There we go, perfect. So that was that one. Next, extending the work sharing program. Now, this one, it's hard to say a little bit about this. And to be frank, my thoughts are that I don't think I have that many clients that this applies to. So I'm not going to get too in depth on it, although I'll just say if you do think this would apply to you and you're interested to learn more, definitely contact me, or you guys who are here, ask me during the question and answer. Next, exciting, reduced and deferred payments. Yes, we want to delay payments. Why do we want to do that, right? That can take some stress off of us. You know, like when the bill is due right now or the bill is due in 6 months, that gives us this time to breathe. So it's quite helpful. So let's take a look. Most of you, maybe you hopefully already know the personal deadlines have been deferred to June 1st. And so this one is talking specifically to businesses. So it says, we are allowing all businesses to defer until August 31st the payment of any income taxes owing or that become owing between March 18th and September 20th. So for you guys who are sole proprietors, it's part of your personal income tax return, right? You don't have a separate business tax return, it's part of your personal. And so they have the same deadline extension for personal as for business. So it's all encompassing all the way around. So that applies to you guys. And then you'll see also no interest or penalties will accumulate on these amounts. So if you have an amount owing on this year's taxes, my advice definitely is don't pay it right away. One way that you can win or beat the system is you can invest that money that you would pay right away to CRA. Actually, maybe you, even if you just put it into your checking account, right, you'd make a few bucks, you could buy yourself an ice cream at minimum. At most, maybe you could talk to your investment advisor and do something that would give you even a bigger return. But so that's a way that could work. And of course, if you don't have the money because of COVID, then of course there is that delay to give you more time to earn the money to pay the taxes. And then the next one, this one is referring to GST and custom duty. So anyone who's owing GST can defer until June 30th. So that's amounts owing from due from March 27th until the end of May, can defer until the end of June. So that's a bit funny because a lot of sole proprietors, they're due June 15th, right? So you're not being included in this one, unfortunately. My hope is, to be frank with you guys, I didn't say this in the intro, but there's not really a lot for small businesses. I'm hoping that there's going to be more. I know the federal government really is working to get these stimulus packages out to keep Canada in business, to keep us all in business. So I'm hoping that there's going to be more. But right now, as you're going to see, that there's not a lot. And so the fun part of this webinar is mostly going to be the business ideas and talking about how we can help ourselves. But let's keep going anyway. These next two sections, access to credit and supporting financial stability, these are basically just FYI. The government is filling up the page with information a little bit in a sense, but I mean, they're also sharing helpful information. So these two, access to credit, when you click them open, you'll see the details, and you'll also see at the bottom, these programs will roll out in mid-April. And interested businesses should work with their current financial institutions. So unfortunately, that's not me, that's your bank. So for both of these, the establishing a business credit and Canada Emergency Business Account, they both have the same advice, which is to contact your bank. So definitely, if you think that this could apply to you, get in contact with your banker. And if you aren't already in contact with your banker, this is a great opportunity to get in contact with your banker. So I encourage you all to get in contact and see how they might be able to help you and support you through this time. The next one, support financial stability. So this one is pretty much all FYI. The government is just saying what they're doing. So again, I'll let you read through that on your own time. So there's for the insured mortgages, the Bank of Canada, and the Office of the Superintendent. So if you're wondering, like, I don't really get it, it's because it's just basically information. So yeah. The last one, this is the one that's most interesting, but again, it's fairly limited here. So support for self-employed individuals. The first one is the Canada Emergency Response Benefit. We'll get into that right away. But I just want to bring your attention, these last two items, they're basically the same that we already saw up here in reduced and deferred payments. So it's the same with the GST and the customs duty, and then more time to pay income taxes. So that'll bring us here, Canada Emergency Response Benefits. So you can click on that, and it gives some details. We will provide a taxable benefit of $2,000 up to 4 months to eligible workers who have lost their income due to COVID. That sounds great. Let's see what the details say. So apply for the CERB. Who is eligible? So you have to be 15 years old. This is the tricky part, and one of you guys asked me about this, and you know, unfortunately, this is where it's saying you have to have stopped working because of COVID. So there's not, it's not a partial stoppage. That's not what this is for at this time, unfortunately. It says here at the bottom, you're expected to be without employment or self-employment income for at least 14 consecutive days in the initial 4-week period. So that's starting now. And then for subsequent benefit periods, they expect to have no employment. So this is really a drop down to 0. So unfortunately, I don't think there's many of us who are going to be dropping right down to 0. But if that is your case, then there certainly are, right. I was going to direct you to this getting started. So there is this questionnaire you can go through. I was self-employed. Oh, it doesn't take you. Oh, and then you would continue. So if you think this could apply to you, I would encourage you to go through this section here. And again, you can ask me more questions in the question and answer on this part. Great. So that is that's the CRA, and that's what they are doing to help right now. I'm going to close out of the screen share and go back to my screen. Awesome. Great. Yeah. So that's it. And I don't mean to laugh, but I also it's sort of the reason I was thinking I'm not sure if I'm going to send this recording out is I always like to be authentic and honest and you know, like I said, as entrepreneurs, I don't think as a group of people we're the ones who are waiting for CRA to come and hold our hands. We're the ones who are out there, you know, making it on our own, and you know, not waiting for a paycheck but going out and earning it. And I think now more than ever is this time um, where we have this choice. So I was watching this other um, what's this, like a webinar or an interview over the weekend, and it was the fellow who wrote the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, and he said a few words that really struck me and that I want to share with you guys right now. And he said basically, he says the people who are already forward thinking, who are already changing, you know, and you can see the changes like moving for, like you can see this evolution that we're moving through, this change, technology, all this adopting and new ways of thinking and doing things. You know, these are the people who can quickly adapt. These are the ones who are succeeding in this time. And the people who are still kind of industrial age thinking, wondering where's my handout, and this type of standard, you know, an an older generation type of way of thinking is the type of people who are struggling the most in this time. So he said, and I've heard this analogy used in different ways before, but now's the time more than ever that it's our choice, that we can be the victim of our circumstance or we can be the victor. And I choose victor. I never choose victim. That's part of my life philosophy is, you know, in any situation we can rise above. We're not here to fall and crumble. We're here to rise up. And I really see that, and I see, as you know, as heart-centered Manitobans, now's our time to shine and to share what we really have, and to get really passionate about our businesses. Like I am passionate about helping you guys with your bookkeeping and taxes. I love it. And that's why I'm here taking an hour of my day to be with you guys, because I want to be here. And I think all of you in your own businesses, in whatever way you're sharing, I know you're passionate about that. I know there are really great benefits to the products that you're selling, to the services that you're offering. And now more than ever, I is the time to get out there and to be with our customers and our clients. Like I said, I've been doing my research on my end, and I had this, the fellow who was hosting the webinar said, and I challenge you. And I said, yes, I accept that challenge. And I'm here also to challenge all of you, is how are we going to get out there? So let me check my notes. I feel like I went off track there. Um, right. So I feel now more than ever, our customers are watching, and also in that sense, we're all human, and we're all looking for that sense of safety, this sense of stability. And so, like I said, in each service or each product that we're offering that. And whether it's a wellness product or whether it's like a real life product, like anything that we're using, food or any product that you're selling the regular course of your life, people are using it and needing it and relying on it. So sort of coming back and thinking like, okay, what am I offering and why? And how can I show my clients and my customers how much I care? And so let's keep going through my notes. Oh, right. So first, I want to say taking care of ourselves. So we can't be here, we can't help others unless we feel safe and secure in our own situations. So first and foremost is giving yourself the help that you need, making sure that we're using our wellness tools. You guys all know I'm a yoga teacher, so of course I'll give some shout outs for yoga, meditation. I am offering some free stuff through my websites. Lots of yoga teachers are offering free offerings to help us during this time. Even taking a bath, putting salt bath, soaking our feet in a nice I just went to Dollarama and before this, not recently, but just get a tub, a plastic tub, and salts, Epsom salts, and warm water, and that does so much to just help us really come down. Because when we're in this state of worry, we're it's really difficult to make good decisions. So I'll uh, really emphasize taking care of yourself first, making sure that you feel good and that you're reaching out to your customers and your clients from a place of wellness, that you're not sharing your insecurities with them, like, oh my god, please buy from me, I think I might go out of business. You're reminding them how much you mean to them, how much they mean to you, why you offer the product that you do, or why you offer the service that you do. Yeah, so like I said, people still need our products and services, and how are we going to get it to them safely and efficiently? Um, so like I said, many of us have health products, they're nourishing in themselves, perhaps they're immune boosting, perhaps they reduce stress, perhaps they help us feel good. Perhaps you're a person who's kind and caring and genuine, and that's just so needed in this time. So even if your products don't help in some way, but you're helpful, you're grounded, you're looking out for your customers' well-being, that matters, and that makes a difference now. So reaching out in that way. Maybe you give your customers peace of mind. Do you have top quality products, top quality services? Are you taking their safety seriously in terms of COVID concerns? How are you showing them that, hey, I'm taking this seriously. I'm not going to get myself sick, and I'm not going to get you sick, or my family or your family. I really care. That really, that I think that really is so golden right now for all of us. Um, yeah, I also have here reliable and trustworthy, and support local. I think people are now more than ever, people are cognizant that our small and medium-sized businesses, we are in this state of uncertainty. We are going day by day. We don't know how things are going to be changing, how we're going to be able to operate, and just, asking people, reminding them, hey, I'm a local person. I went to school here. I have this great product, and I'll just appreciate so much if you'll support me and my family. I think that's great. I think that's a great thing to emphasize. Um, Next, what do I have here? Do you need to change your supply chain at all? So changing gears a little bit, but how are we getting our services and our products to our customers? So I know me and Elisa, we're on Zoom now for yoga. I'm hosting this via Zoom. Obviously, I couldn't invite you all here to my home. And in different ways, maybe the store is closed or the restaurant is closed. Can I go directly to my customers? Um, and how can I get in contact? Do I have emails? Maybe I could send out an email and say, hey, I'm going to be changing the way I'm doing things. I'd love for you to still be a part of my business, and remind them these things that I was already talking about. And then another thing that's come up in what I've been researching on my end is this Facebook. One, Facebook is a great way to be getting in touch with people right now. And then what they really push is to have these Facebook community groups. And I don't have one yet for either of my businesses, but I am planning to get these going, because I see people say that they are so great for building community, building awareness of who you are and what you're offering. and just building this community of like-minded people. So this is something that I'm going to be getting into for both my yoga business and accounting, and I'll throw that out to you. I really hope you'll accept one challenge from this webinar. So I'll throw it out to you. Maybe you could add a Facebook community group to your Facebook page. If you don't already have a Facebook page, maybe you want to get a Facebook page started and just say, hey, I'm here. I'm feeling challenged and I feel uncertain, but I am certain that I have this great service. I'm certain I have this great product and I want to get it to you and I want to help you. And here's how it's going to help. Yeah. So that's the end of my business advice notes. Yeah, I really just think now is the time to be here for our community in whatever way that means to each of us as business owners. Um, I hope that was valuable to you. Yeah. So that is the end of what I prepared in terms of going through my items. So like I promised to those who are taking part in the webinar right now, this is going to be the end of the recording, and then we'll have an unrecorded section where we'll go through question and answers in a more informal way. So thank you all if you're watching the recording afterwards. Thank you so much for being here. And please reach out to me if I can help you in any way. And if I do let this go public, and if you're not yet a client and you'd like to be a client, definitely get in contact with me, www.petaski-cpa.ca. So thank you so much, and bye for now.